Hey guys, Seat the Geek here, back with another video. It's been a long time since I even turned this game on, but we were in Going Under. Someone on YouTube was commented on my past video from, I want to say it was a year ago, almost 2 years ago now, when I played Going Under. I did like a skills video, whatever the abilities were that you find on the map, these things on the table there. I did a video on those about a year ago, 2 years ago, because when I looked on YouTube to find a guide or some help when I was playing the game, there was literally nothing. I guess a little back history is that this game came out right at the tail end of COVID. I'm sure most of us remember that. It was not a great time. So the game didn't get a lot of coverage from people. People did play it. There are some walkthroughs and playthroughs out there with a few guides, but they're all very incomplete. Because the game just didn't get that much attention because people were, stuck at home, focusing on other things, worrying about COVID, waiting for COVID to end. Which is unfortunate for this game because this game's actually very good. It's a very good game. But outside of that, I did a review to go over the skills because I felt like, well, this information isn't out there and I'm looking it up. I might as well do a video covering all of it and put it out there just to help anyone else who comes across this game or plays it and is looking for something like that. I'm not sure if my video is the only one out there for this game that covers all the abilities. There may be one or two out there, but they're also from very small YouTube channels similar to mine, so you really have to look for the information if you want it. Because when I checked Google a couple years ago, I couldn't even find anything. I do hope that video did help some people. Like, it certainly did, because someone reached out to me through the video itself on my channel. They also wanted me to cover some of the other stuff in the game, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm gonna, I believe, make 2 or 3 more separate videos covering each of the other aspects outside of the abilities. So I already did a video on that, and I'm gonna try to have this one a little better formatted to make it easier to navigate, at least with timestamps, so that way people can get to the relevant information where they want it, if they don't want to watch the whole video, because I understand people are busy. The apps, however, I'll have to use the Going Under wiki because there's way too many for me to cover in a video and I don't want to make like a 30-minute to an hour-long video just on apps. The apps aren't super relevant. I rarely use them, I believe, but they are there. It's something that I should cover since it's in the game. So with this first video, I'll probably just go over the mentors. These guys, the mentor system. I don't want to spoil too much of the gameplay, but the mentors are the people you meet in the storyline. If you do their quest and befriend them at the final level, they'll give you can take them on as a mentor. They give you usually an item or some type of special ability you can use for each level when you go into the level. And the ability varies based on the character, but usually it kind of fits their personality. So if we go to the mentor tab here, we'll just go in order here. Tappies first. I don't really have to show these in the map because they're kind of self-explanatory. Tappy lets you earn more money throughout your run. So when you're in the level, there is money and stuff that you can grab and pick up. She just increases the amount of money that you can get. She is fairly useful. I want to say she's probably the second useful in my opinion. But also you can order deliveries from the Primo store. Cafe items restock when purchased, which is also useful. And Primo deliveries arrive faster. Opening crates grants invincibility. This last one's also a very good ability. In some of the levels and some of the rooms, there'll be crates. If you open them, you get kind of invincibility frames, iframes. That makes you kind of want to you can pick up the crate and carry it with you as well, and then open it if you're in a group of enemies. Give you some invincibility, gives you some more iframes to help take out the enemies. Fairly useful ability. I think it's the second strongest ability in the game. I think a lot of people use Tappy for the most part. Then we have Kara. I actually don't have her unlocked, but I believe she's the least useful because, like I said, apps aren't super relevant for the game. Apps are abilities that you can pick up in the map and they give you random abilities, which I'll do cover apps in a different video. But her ability, as if you take her on a mentor, she lets you have 2 apps at once. Normally, your phone can only have 1, but if you have her with a mentor, you can have 2. This is a little bit better, but apps aren't super strong in this game, unfortunately. Because I don't have her unlocked, I don't have these other 2, so I apologize for that. Also, the app shop will appear in the dungeon, which lets you cycle through the selection of apps and then buy. I think you have to buy it. Not 100% sure on that. But that's Kara as a mentor. Fern, who I do have unlocked. Cans of Fizzle appear in the dungeon. The cans of Fizzle have random effects if you drink them. They're completely random. They do random stuff. Some give you like invincibility, some give you health, some lets you, I think, shoot fireballs. It's a bunch of random stuff. Usually random is not good, which is why I don't use him. You want something a little bit more consistent, which is why I use Ray mostly. But he's not bad. I would say he's actually probably better than Kara by a little bit. He also lets you start your run with a packed lunch, which is basically, I think it's 2 or 3 times use health item that I think recovers 25% health, I believe, something like that. So that's a very useful ability, giving health. It does take up an item slot in your inventory. That's the downside. You want the food, but it takes up inventory space, and I think you can only have 4 inventory item space, or 3. So that kind of sucks a little bit. I wish we had more inventory space for this game, but we don't. You also hold more Fizzle at once and buy Fizzle from the vending machines. I believe you can only have 1 can, but with him as a mentor, you can have as many as you want. He also unlocks the forbidden flavors, which have the crazy abilities that are also kind of random. Let's see. Then there's Swamp. He lets you shoplift a random item from the cafe. I believe when you go to the cafe in the dungeon and you buy something, with him as a mentor, he actually like pops out, grabs a random item, and then gives it to you for free, so you don't have to pay for it. Because it's another random ability like Fern, it's not that good. Because there's no guarantee of knowing what you're going to get. It might be something that you don't want or don't need. Random is generally bad. You usually want consistency. That's also why I don't use Swamp personally. Swamp cubes, he has his own little crates that have his branded items in them. Kind of useful. Start far with homies, which I believe are like just little NPCs that help you fight, but they're not very strong. And then you can chill out in the Swamp's chill zone. I think at the end of each of the dungeon levels, there's a room with him in it where you can just, it's a safe room basically. I believe there's a health container in there, but that's all you really get. It's just a safe room. Nothing too great or special about it. I wish it did more. But he's also not that great. I would still put him above Kara though. Last but not least, since Jackie is not a mentor for herself, is Ray, the one I use the most. You start each dungeon level with his company car and purchase stuff you can't afford. So when you start the level with Ray as a mentor, you actually get a little mini convertible, which is like a car that Jackie drives. It's essentially an item, but it's not in your inventory. Jackie can drive around in it. It does increase her movement speed. It does damage to enemies. You can still get hit while you're in it. You're not invincible. But this item is extremely useful because it lets you just ram into enemies, and it lets you, essentially gives you a fourth item slot, but it's just the car. The car can't take damage. It can get destroyed, which it often will eventually because it can only take so much damage before it explodes. However, the car is just super useful, especially for in game when there's more rooms with stronger enemies in them. You want the car to just plow into them, deal damage. Be able to swerve out of the way to dodge attacks, dodge hits, and then just ram people with the car. Also, being able to purchase stuff without you can't afford. You basically get Ray's debit card. So if there's something in one of the item areas in the dungeon, even if you don't have the money to buy it, which is the currency up here, his card will let you still buy it, but you take on debt, which you do have to pay back to Ray. The debt doesn't go away. Even if you die, I don't believe it goes away. You have to use this money to pay off the debt if you can't afford an item before you're allowed to buy anything else, I believe. So it's a good side and a downside. You really want this for the car. His other ability is also very useful. You get one extra skill will appear per floor. More skills are super useful, which are these things over here, which I did my last video on. Having an extra one pop up, because usually each room only gives you an option of 3. Him with his ability, there will be a fourth one that you can also pick, which is usually something actually pretty decent. So also you can reroll the cafe by using a special kiosk. It lets you, I believe, lets you cycle the items in the cafe area. If it's something that you don't want or don't need, you get a chance to reroll it. Another very useful ability. Getting an option to buy better stuff is always useful in this game. And obviously, I mentioned the car, which is Ray's whip. The car is just really good. And yeah, that is all the mentors in the game. I don't want to make the video super long, so I'm not going to go through a whole level showing what each one does. What I believe... yeah, I won't do that in this video. I don't know how long this video is, but those are the mentors. I'll do the video on the apps in a second. So yeah, this is just gonna be the mentor video. Thanks for watching.